coffee today. Thank you for coming. I'm Ali Jordan, the Interim Principal here at Granby Junior Senior High School.
And I'm Officer Zach Gilly, the School Resource Officer here for the whole district.
And
Chris Weatherby.
thank you for coming today.
Sure.
So we have a small crowd today. We are being recorded so we can share out later. And Alex, I'm wondering if you can hear me okay. Okay, very good. So we have a few things on our agenda to talk about. It's the beginning of school. We had the today's picture day, so we're starting to get the firsts all done for the year. It's been an incredible feeling to be able to be back all in person 5 days a week. Still wearing our masks, still following our COVID protocols, but quite an experience. Good feelings. The kids are happy. They have smiles on their faces, and they're loving their classes. We have a lot of new staff in the building, and especially the new staff from last year, who some of these students are meeting for the first time. But an incredible experience. We've had a couple administration changes that we had talked about before. Mr. Sullivan is now our superintendent, so he is down the hall but still in the same building. I slid into the principal role, the interim principal role, and Mr. Todd Dorman has assumed the assistant principal role. We hired a new athletic director. Her name is Brittany Slate. She is incredible. I will be staying on to help mentor Brittany throughout the year. There's a lot in athletics, as we know, and so I'm excited to have her on board. So the way the agenda is set up is I have a couple talking points, and then it's question and answer, and then Zach will speak to a couple things around the building, and that will conclude our coffee and conversation. And then maybe we can come up with a fancy name to call the next one.
Okay.
Donuts and dialogue.
There you
Now
go.
you're gonna have to
That's good. The donuts.
remember the donuts.
Remember the donuts. I think that's easier than the coffee. But so over the summer, we launched a program called the Acceleration Academy. It comes from the Department of Education. It is grant funded, and the purpose of the academy was for students, any students in grades 7 through 12, to be able to recover learning loss, especially those students that may have been remote all year. They've been utilizing the state-provided programming, which is pretty cool. Achieved 3,000, and it's a math program. So our focus has been tailored to math and ELA, which has been really awesome for the kids. We have about 10 students, and we're opening it up for another 10 weeks. And we have 2 of our teachers that are providing the support services for those students. It's also a great opportunity for students that exceeded the attendance policy to be able to recover some of the credits lost, so they can actually earn that credit for that class. So we intend on keeping this program throughout the year. After this 10 weeks, we're going to shift the programming to MCAS support for those students that may need additional support in MCAS. So the Department of Education has been pretty incredible to work with. Great program, and I think it will be a nice offering, especially during February vacation and April vacation, an opportunity for the students. With that being said, we are in early conversations about providing a late bus. Our tutoring will resume as well, and we're looking to start that back up next week. So hoping that Wednesdays we'll be sharing the cost of that with East Meadow. And yeah, like I said, we're aiming for next week for it to start. Our clubs and extracurriculars are starting up, and we have appointed advisors for those clubs in the building. Their letters are going out today and tomorrow. Really cool. We have, with new staff, you have new ideas and fresh ideas, which is pretty incredible. Our band teacher, who is new, Mr. Ty, he approached me to start up a rock band club. And we talked about process and how to go about that and sit with the school committee, but it's really incredible. He's got a lot of fresh energy, so it's really nice to have him on board. He's finding Granby to be a nice home for him. So with the club starting up, we're inviting all clubs to attend our Parents' Night, which is September 16th from 6 to 8. And I believe I actually included you on an email yesterday. I'm pretty sure it went to you, but we're trying to set up tables for Parents' Night with a lot of our local groups, such as the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, PTO, Booster Club. So I sent out a mass email yesterday and inviting everyone the opportunity to come in and to share that night with us. So I'm hopeful. I've already gotten several responses, and we'll continue to get those and start working on that evening. And it's our first, because last year we were virtual. So it's really nice to have that back and be able to bring parents back in the building to live the day in the life of a student and follow their schedule. So that information is expected to come out shortly. And last but not least, I have just a 2-second blurb about sports. Our sports season opened up a couple days ago, and really cool to see the kids out there. We're following a lot of the same safety protocols that we were last year. Students are not expected to wear masks outdoors. That could differ though at other schools, which there is some language coming out about masks. It is required for indoor sports, and I support that fully, even for parents. But outdoors, it's pretty tricky to put ourselves in a situation where we're policing parents and asking if they're vaccinated or not, and it's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down, and I don't expect our new athletic directors to do that either. But as long as we're socially distancing outside and parents can choose to wear them, I myself wear them. I wore yesterday going into a hockey rink to drop off my daughter's helmet she forgot. So, but that's what's going on. The sports teams, our signups, we were just shy of 100. Last 2 years ago, we had 120. This is not including our esports signups. So usually we have about 10 for that. So our sign-up numbers are just a little shy of where they were 2 years ago. We do have a new sport offering. We have a co-op with field hockey, which is really cool. We have one student playing field hockey. She's loving it so far. They had a first game yesterday. And we have one student golfing who has golfed with the same program with Hopkins for the last, I want to say 6 years. Could be 4, but I believe it's 6. So it's pretty incredible. We have one football player playing with a co-op with Amherst, and that co-op is for 1 year, so we're going to have to look for a new co-op moving forward for next year. Volleyball is booming. We've been sharing a space with South Hadley here, and they're all in full masks here. So we walked in the gym yesterday, and they were playing a scrimmage, and it was really nice to see some fans. Everybody was cooperative. Everyone had their masks on, and it was really nice that we have this relationship with South Hadley. We share a lot of co-ops with them. There's probably about 6 sports that we co-op with them, and incredible experience for the kids too, to be able to have some type of normalcy back in their lives. But that's what I have. I know Zach has a couple things that he'd like to talk to you about that started over the summer.
Right. Over the summer we did myself and 2 other, Ali and Scott Taylor, we became ALICE instructors, which ALICE is a program that we teach to the staff and the students in the building for critical violent incidences. So it's teaching them the proper way to lock down, how to make the notification of something that happened, how we can counter a threat, and then the proper way to evacuate. So we're going to be rolling that out hopefully by sometime in the month of October to the staff, and just get them on it, and then get the kids educated on it too. Some have gone through it in the past, but we're 2 years off from any of this. It's kind of finding our way through it and just kind of starting from fresh. But it's something that the state mandates that we teach, and we instruct our students and staff so that what is happening here is the same thing that's happening in Belchertown, is the same thing that's happening in South Hadley. If they or we were posed with a critical incident, violent incident, so that responding officers know what building occupants are kind of going through at that same time. We're doing our harassment presentations hopefully by the end of the month. Harassment and cyber safety, where Todd Dorman will be presenting to the students, and then I'm there to give the criminal side of it, since I don't get into the school discipline side of it. I'm just here for the criminal side of everything. And this past week we had our fire drills. The high school had theirs. East Meadow hopefully should have theirs done next week. And we have a great relationship with the fire department where they do their thing and they give us some positive feedback, and then just feedback in general to what we can do and what we can work on as a building. You have put out that information to the staff and how the feedback from the fire department, and there's always room for improvement, but everything was great. Students got out quick, and I think it was all good from there. But that's all I have.
Yes, they gave us
a lot of info.
It was a lot of info, but it's good info to get out there, and we want parents to be able to come in and either sit or view from home. But what questions do you have for us? Like, what's on your mind? What can we talk about? And even for further topics for another coffee and conversation or donuts and dialogue.
Have there been any classes dropped this year or added to the programs that are offered to the kids currently?
Yes. So our last coffee and conversation, we talked heavily about this area. And yes, there was an array of classes now being offered. We have a lot of classes that start at the lower level in junior high through Project Lead the Way, which is a career path that we're starting our students on. As they get into high school, they can take the high school end of those classes. So in science, and who would be really good at telling you this would be Mr. Dorman. But we have, oh gosh, I wish I had the schedule right in front of me. You put me on the spot on that one.
Sorry.
That's okay, it's perfect. Well, we have a marine biology course that Cindy Dorman is teaching. Marine science, marine biology. We have our AP courses. We were not able to offer AP physics this year. We had a change in staffing. Mr. Graney has come aboard, and he has been amazing. And the students love him. So our plan for this moving forward is majority of the students that we're looking to take it will be taking it as seniors. We have to send that teacher to get trained and to be an AP instructor. So our plan is to send Mr. Graney this year, over the summer, to become an AP instructor, and then he can teach AP physics. So I now am the AP coordinator for the school. Mr. Sullivan used to assume that role, and I'm working on, we have I think 6 or 7 offerings in our building for AP courses, which are pretty incredible, with a lot of kids signed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I observed an AP classroom yesterday, an AP classroom yesterday. It was really cool to see the students engaged in their learning. And so to answer your question about anything that we were not able to run, yes, I believe that we were not able to, but racking my brain, there was an online version that we could, because I was like, oh, we just got to do something. But the student was okay not taking it this year, and then we have a plan moving forward, which works out for Mr. Graney as well, because he is in his first year teaching, and again, he's doing incredible, and the students really seem to love him. So other classes, if Todd was coming in, he's on break right now, he'd be able to run through all of them for you. We're offering our environmental science again, forensics. The kids are really loving those courses. Design and modeling. So we have our career paths that guidance has been working heavily on. They're creating these, it's almost like if you can envision like a flow chart. They're creating these career pathways for students and hoping that the students, if you can imagine this, they hop onto one of these career tracks, and we start to send them, kind of like when we go to college, we start to send them in the right direction. Like, these are your major core courses. These are your regular courses that you have to take, your Common Core ones. So we have students starting to assume tracks and paths to be able to further their education in the area that they're interested in. So lots of discussions are going on in guidance. This year we're updating our program of studies. it's a big to-do. It is a task that will take the full year. Guidance will work closely with our team leaders. Team leaders will work closely with their department colleagues and put together a strong program of studies. So that typically is updated every few years, and this year we just happen to be up for it. So the classes that are being offered are pretty incredible through our programming. We do have an HCC course that is being offered this year, which is really cool. I believe we had 26 signed up for it, and that's a first for us. In the past, we've had similar relationships with local colleges, but this would be a first where, you know, the kids here will be taking it. They do have the option to be at home to be able to do that, because it is virtual. Really cool opportunity. Our dual enrollment, significant amount of kids signed up for it, for the dual enrollment program, which is pretty incredible as well. I think we're in a really good place. Mr. Sullivan did great work with the guidance department in creating this programming for our students. And for a small school, we have a variety of options. So thank you for that question. And Mr. Dorman could probably come in and tell you that all over again. I should have brought the schedule, because then I could have looked right at it, but what is it? Do you have any other questions?
That was my main one, because
Okay.
I knew about the physics,
Yep,
because I know Sam wanted to do that. but
Yes.
Was unable to,
yes.
so.
He
that's
was
why I
one.
asked. Yeah.
And he is, yes, he will be on the agenda for next year, which will be awesome. Will you be a senior next year?
Yep.
Yes. Crazy how time flies. Thinking about it too, we have brought on historical fiction. So we have those students that are looking in the history pathway, and just a lot of great opportunities. And you know what the best part of like being back at school is just being with the kids and seeing how much they've grown over a year of kind of seeing them,
Yeah.
you know, and having them in front of you. Just some of them grew like 2 feet. It's insane. Some of you can't even recognize, not to mention like the mask, but the hair and
Yeah.
the height, and it's just really pretty incredible. Such a good feeling to be able to be back, and I know the kids are excited to be back. You can feel it, you know, when they're here. Everything seems to be falling into place. So I don't know if Todd's going to be able to show up, but if you have no further questions,
That
Then-
was my main one.
yeah. And if you do, please by all means, and you're welcome to attend to any. Our next coffee and conversation is going to be November 17th. It's the holiday edition. So if you have any ideas or you speak to anyone in the community, we'd love to have other people attend. And we're going to consistently do these throughout the year. We come up with a fancy little name each time for it. So hopefully we'll see you at the next one. And again, the next coffee and conversation or donuts and dialogue will be on November 17th. And consider this your formal invitation out to the community. We welcome you to join us within the walls here at Granby Junior Senior High School.